Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Ensnare and Check here on Scrap Station. We have Ensnare spawning as the red Terran player over here on what I'll call the left side or the north side here on Scrap Station. Meanwhile, we have Check spawning as the blue Zerg over here on the right side at the 3 o'clock position. Should be pretty interesting. And now very interesting already off the bat, we already have Ensnare moving out with a really early SCV. Now, we may see some sort of proxy racks play right into here, is my guess. As this SCV now comes in, as you can actually try to do a proxy racks here. No, does not look like it. Coming back around and may try to do a proxy racks here. Yeah, okay, so a proxy racks over here by these destructible rocks. Now, in comes this drone. Will this drone be able to spot this proxy racks? And no, it does not, and that is absolutely huge. Very interesting play already as this Overlord now moving out. Taking a look at the production tab, we already see a refinery coming up. So this looks like to be a 9 racks with an early Reaper opening would be my guess. This drone's going to head up that ramp and quickly find out how far behind economically they are. We'll take a look over here. Now currently sitting at a 14 food supply, and I do not see any sort of spawning pool coming in yet. We got to see some sort of spawning pool in play. Now already Check running around with this drone and has already decided to come back home, and now we do see the spawning pool laid down, so that early spawning pool may be able to help. And now in comes this SCV. Is the SCV going to throw down some sort of bunker is the next question over here. SCV now wandering around the inside here, will not be able to get any significant damage done, will not be able to throw down any bunkers just because it is off on that creep. And now in comes the spawning pool. So over here, Overlord now sees that there is a Reaper being trained up with this tech lab, so it is going to be a Reaper opening. Back over here, still seeing it at 11 or 12 food. I do not see any sort of supply depot coming into play, and no upgrade to an orbital command either, and no upgrade to the nitro pack. So not exactly sure what Ensnare's trying to do in this crazy opening of his. And yeah, things are looking already very bad. There is this Overlord now in the air. Production wise, we have a bunker now being placed down. So a bunker being placed down. Wow. A bunker being placed down right over here to try to take down this spawning pool. Will the range be just enough, or will it be out of range? Bunker has now been completed. In goes that Reaper. No, gonna go after some of those and go after that Spine Crawler right now. So Spine Crawler now taking some damage, and that Spine Crawler will get taken down very early. Out comes some Zerglings, and now Zerglings now trying to chase down that Reaper. Reaper now gonna go ahead and jump into that bunker, and that bunker will be able to deal some damage towards some of those Zerglings, and now trying to take down this spawning pool. So that spawning pool taking some significant damage as well, and now trying to go after, I guess, this one Spine Crawler here. 2 Spine Crawlers currently being produced, and we are upgrading to an orbital command right now. No additional units being... Oh, 1 Reaper is being trained because an SCV got taken out, and now in come that nitro packs. Bunker is now throwing its D8 charges at the spawning pool, and the spawning pool already down to 500 hit points, and continuing to drop very quickly. The Queen now, and more Zerglings should be coming out in just a second. Production wise, we have that Spine Crawler nearing completion. Will this Spine Crawler be able to come into here, and will this second Reaper be able to deal any real damage? Spawning pool already down to 100 hit points. Spawning pool will get taken down. No transfusion, and that is going to be very bad news indeed. Broodling's now coming out to try to work its way at this bunker, but the bunker will be quickly taken down. Now the bunker now trying to cause a little bit more pressure and a little bit more tactics here, but there is a proxy hatchery coming into the base. Wow, so a proxy hatchery now coming in, but there's no any other spawning pools. So with no spawning pools, not exactly sure what Check really wants to do, but you got to keep an eye on that proxy hatchery in the other base of Ensnare. Queen now trying to come out, maybe able to get off another hit. No, not able to get off another hit, and as we are just continuing to produce more and more units. A second Queen will be coming out in just a moment. Where is that spawning pool? There's that spawning pool to the north, and now we finally have a factory being played down over here. So really crazy opening so far, as a third Reaper going to come in and join in on this fight. So 4 Reapers with that nitro pack movement speed going to cause a little bit of problems. There is 1 Spine Crawler here, and they really need to get within range of this spawning pool in the back of the base. And Reaper is now trying to perhaps do a little bit of a push. Does not know about that spawning pool in the back of the base. And now as soon as this is done, perhaps we'll see a Queen being trained, and also maybe some Zerglings over there. Back over here, we still see the spawning pool nearing completion. No gas just quite yet. Finally, gas being laid down as we have 6 larvae being ready. And now those Reapers will be able to make it to the back of that base, perhaps to deal some damage to that spawning pool. Excuse me, out come these Queens, And will those queens be able to deal enough damage? Another Roach Warren being laid down. So that Roach Warren now taking a couple quick shots. One queen sitting over here, now off the creep, and that queen off the creep is going to get taken down very, very easily. Back on that creep now. Are we going to get a transfusion in time? Yeah, in comes that transfusion. Roach Warren now over here. Reapers trying to make their way around. Reapers, still not fighting down and taking down that spawning pool just quite yet, as these drones walking around, and now the Marines causing a little bit of pressure towards those overlords. Will the queen be able to get any hits off? No hits off over here, as now we have spine crawlers being built in the base of Ensnare. So still does not know about it, but now does know about it, as there is some creep on the map, now throwing down a bunker here, and now going to be forced to run units back home as quickly as possible. So somehow Czech was able to throw off this whole entire attack. There is a queen over here as well, and now 4 spine crawlers being constructed, or 3 spine crawlers being constructed, with one already in some reason not uprooting just quite yet. Reapers now coming in, and now out comes some roaches, and those Reapers now in a lot of trouble as well. Those Reapers are going to be forced to pull back, but there is a Banshee now coming into play. So a Banshee already very, very early in this tactic, and now out comes some spine crawlers. Reapers need to try to take down these spine crawlers over here. A 3rd spine crawler now on the move. Roaches now moving out. No creep tumor for some reason, as those roaches are now moving to the backside of this base, and spine crawlers now attacking very, very long distance against that bunker over here. Roaches now sitting here trying to take down some more of these SCVs. Banshee will be coming out in just a moment, as well as these SCVs just running around and not being able to mine any additional minerals. Looking very, very bad, as this bunker has to be empty. But now out comes one Banshee. Banshee will be able to take down these roaches very, very easily, and this one queen is the only anti-air unit in this battle. A 2nd queen now being trained, and now out comes this queen trying to take down this one Banshee over there, trying to use that range. And then now out comes another spine crawler. No, is that a spore crawler? A spore crawler now coming in, now dropping down a creep tumor as well. Will that Banshee be able to stop that spore crawler or the creep tumor? That is the question. But no, will not be able to, as a 2nd Banshee now trying to be trained up, but we are currently supply locked. This supply depot needs a little bit more love in order to be unsupply locked. Back over here, queens, I guess we're trying to do a little bit of pressure, but not finishing that off. And now in comes a Banshee. So a Banshee now going to cause some economic harassment in the base of Czech. So Czech in definite trouble now. But now lifting off this orbital command center. So really it's becoming a base race, and a base race against a Terran player is usually a bad situation for anyone that is not the Terran player. But this one Banshee is not going to be able to deal enough damage, and these 2 queens have plenty of energy between the 2 of them to start transfusing each other. Perhaps to try to drop down a creep tumor here in the back of the base and try to get a little bit more positioning. But wow, Ensnare doesn't even say GG and leaves the game after a failed Banshee proxy Reaper barracks rush on Scrap Station. Okay, so very, very fast game. Let me do a quick recap of everything. A very, very early SCV coming in to throw down and essentially try to go for a 9 Reaper harassment into the base of Czech. Ensnare, for some reason, not getting that early orbital command and not getting an early supply depot, really fell behind in the economic game, as he had 200 to 300 minerals, and I think that's ultimately what hurt him in this whole entire engagement. We do have a queen now. Really, also getting additional queens was really what helped Czech in this particular instance. Getting those 2 queens able to fend off that Reaper, even with that early bunker harassment, was absolutely critical and key. These 2 spine crawlers with that range of 7 was really able to hold off against that Reaper. The Reaper, even though it had a range of 6 with the additional help of that bunker for the D8 chargers. However, a proxy hatchery in the base of Czech was in the base of Ensnare by Czech was ultimately what came back to haunt Ensnare. Ensnare, not seeing this, Czech was able to throw down, get an early queen, get a spawn larva off, and then get 3 and 4 spine crawlers within the base of Ensnare very, very early, and Ensnare just leaves the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. Please subscribe. Also, if you guys haven't checked out my Facebook, I do have some announcements there. Anyways, I am part of now Clan Prime's staff. I am their English shoutcaster, so any replays that they give to me, I will be able to shoutcast for them and then pass them along to you. Unfortunately, I cannot post up these replays. I'm pretty sure that, Clan Prime doesn't want their replays studied and then perhaps deduced and figured out by OGS, the team OGS. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay and crazy action here on Scrap Station.